This is the all-new Infiniti Q50 compact luxury sedan, and this market is heating up because the main competitor for this would probably be the Lexus IS, which recently came out as a 250 and a 350. And is it just me, or do the Lexus IS and this look similar? Now, Lexus calls it their spindle grille, but I kind of think that they look very similar, especially from the front. The side and rear of the cars definitely have a slightly different approach. The IS is more muscular looking. This is a little bit more elegant. Regardless, they're both nice looking cars, and this vehicle has a lot going for it. First and foremost, the Q50, it's only available with a 3.7 liter V6 engine or a hybrid system. If you look at some of the other competitors like Audi or BMW, they start out with turbocharged 4 cylinders. Infiniti has just gone to a large 3.7 liter displacement engine that provides a lot more power and a much better bang for the buck. So how much does it cost to get a Q50? Very nicely priced. It's available with 2-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. It's a rear-wheel drive sedan, of course, more performance-oriented. Starts at just over $37,000. If you want to get the all-wheel drive with the premium interior that we have here, it's $43,400. That's almost dead on what Lexus charges for the similarly equipped 350 with all-wheel drive. When you compare it to other vehicles like the BMW 335 that has less horsepower than this, those cars are way more money. And that's what this is really hoping to do, is capitalize on the people that want a premium car, don't want to spend all the money for a German car. But I tell you what, you get a lot for your money. So at $43,400, this is what's called the premium trim. Comes with leather seats, comes with the upgraded Bose stereo, and it really looks fantastic on the inside. Compared to the old G37, this is light years ahead. The G37 was a study in simplicity, which I really liked, but this is much better, especially like the way the screen is integrated into the dashboard. It looks like a very clean iPad application instead of the screen sunk into the dashboard. They've done a nice job with that. Also, you can scroll through the pages instead of having, FM1, FM2, you just go back and forth from your different settings to find exactly the station you want. However, I do find it is a bit slow on startup. You have to start the car and let the system cycle through to get it up and running, much like booting up a computer, and it can take a little bit of time because I guess that's what you're doing. You're booting up the computer. Now, one thing this vehicle has is the dynamic steering. You can adjust the drive-by-wire steering. It's really not connected. It's done electronically. Don't worry, there is a mechanical backup. You can dial in whether you want it heavy or light, sporty or comfort, what have you. It really does a fantastic job. More on that when I drive the car. So the finish in here is first rate. One thing Infiniti is trying to do is produce a car that is as good, if not better, than the competition. If you look at this dashboard compared to BMW, Audi, or Mercedes, it looks richer. It's got beautiful finish on the inside, and they're trying to standard that across the Infiniti line. So what you're seeing with this car, you're going to start to see more and more with their other products. First-rate materials on the inside, really pleased with the way it feels. And you know what? The Germans are kind of falling behind on this. Some of their cars are looking really dull and dated, and this car looks fresh and modern. Car is available with rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. It comes standard with a 3.7 liter V6 or a hybrid system. 328 horsepower is the standard 3.7 liter V6 engine, which is way up on power to much of the competition. You look at the base BMW, it's a 4-cylinder turbo. Same thing with Audi. Even if you look at the 335, it's only 300 horsepower. And the Lexus IS 350 is 306 horsepower. So it beats all of those on power. Then you get into the stiffer body, modified rear suspension. You can get the Sport model, which comes with 19-inch wheels and an even stiffer suspension. But I'm finding this car with 17-inch wheels and the adaptive suspension and setup that you have with the steering is fantastic. It's called Direct Adaptive Steering. It's part of a package on the all-wheel drive models and standard on the Sport models. And what you have here is drive-by-wire. There is a mechanical backup, but this you can dial in to be heavy or light, and I love the way that it feels. It doesn't feel like the front wheels are pulling the car. It feels like the whole car moves over on its own. It really is quite remarkable. The best way to describe this car is it feels like an extension of me. The 7-speed automatic transmission does a fantastic job of keeping this 3.7 liter in the sweet spot. The all-wheel drive inspires confidence, and then the steering really is fantastic. For years, we always used to say the BMW 3 Series is the car to beat, but I gotta tell you, the price premium they're charging for the 335, I don't believe is worth it anymore. That Lexus IS is a fantastic car for much, much less. This Infiniti Q50 is so much cheaper than the BMW 335 that I really can't recommend that car. You save so much money, you get a fabulous driving and handling car, and you keep that extra money in the bank. You know what? That gap that the Germans used to have is almost zero now. I think I have a new favorite in the compact luxury sedan segment, the Q50. A few reasons why. Right out of the gate, it comes with the 3.7 liter V6. That's the starting engine. You can get in the hybrid if you like, which actually adds more power. But you know what? When you compare this to like the BMW, it's got a turbo 4-cylinder. Audi's got the turbo 4-cylinder. Mercedes with the C-Class, they have a 4-cylinder as well. Right out of the gate, a powerful V6 engine. And the price is right on the nose with the Lexus IS, but I really prefer the way this car feels. The Lexus was fantastic. I thought that was a great car too. But this one with that adaptive steering, it just feels like it's an extension of my body, and I loved every moment of it. So it's got great power, it's got great handling and steering, and it also has a very nicely finished interior, miles ahead of the old G37, and actually looking better than many of the other competitors in this class. Especially the German cars are really starting to look kind of dull on the inside. If I was going to buy this car, I would get it like this, minus the navigation. What would cost me $43,000 for this car the way it is now, and that's great value.